morality has been an important concern for humanity ever since we've been created. Humans struggle to do the right thing. It can also be very difficult to understand what the right thing is. I'm going to talk about 4 different ethical theories people have used to guide their actions. Sorry, Greg, we gotta take this down. Yeah, that'd be a good idea, thanks. Okay. Ethical theories come in 2 different flavors, consequentialist approaches and non-consequentialist approaches. Consequentialist approaches try to measure ethics by results, while non-consequentialist approaches try to define goodness in itself. The 2 consequentialist approaches we'll talk about are egoism and utilitarianism, and the 2 non-consequentialist approaches we'll talk about are Kantian ethics and existentialism. Egoism can be thought of as enlightened self-interest. It presupposes that 1, people know what's in, people strive to take their own happiness, and 2, that people know what's in their own best long-term self-interest. Egoism suggests that human beings are physiologically and psychologically designed to act selfishly, that people will do absolutely anything to get what they want. However, there are some problems with egoism. Many people believe that morality is all about curbing our selfishness, and without the need to control the selfishness of some people in society, we likely won't have the need for morality. Also, activities such as lying and stealing are easily in a person's best self-interest, but most people don't do these things because they consider them to be wrong. Okay. Utilitarianism was founded by a man named Jeremy Bentham. Like egoism, it also presupposes that individuals pursue their own happiness. However, it argues that utilitarianism is the science of finding the greatest happiness for the greatest number. Bentham developed a complex set of calculations to determine what particular set of actions will bring the most benefit to people in society. He and his followers were even willing to limit their own individual happiness and even override it to try to bring the greatest good. And here is a simple example of utilitarianism in action. You're a goalie at a hockey game during a championship game, and there happens to be a goalie who's much more skilled than you. So a utilitarian would want a more skilled goalie to play the game to try to increase your chance of winning, to help increase the greatest happiness for the greatest number. Some problems with utilitarianism are as follows. Happiness is a highly subjective idea that's very difficult to measure with numbers. So this decreases the validity of decisions of happiness based on calculations. And there is also the problem of increasing the happiness of some while decreasing the happiness of others. Kantian ethics were invented by a German philosopher named Immanuel Kant. Kant believed that people should act from a sense of moral duty rather than instinct or self-interest. Kant defined moral duty by something he called the categorical imperative. It is a variation of the golden rule. He said that whenever we make any decision at all, that we should try to ask ourselves whether we want the results of our actions to become a universal law. So, for example, if we wouldn't want to kill someone because we wouldn't want that to be a universal law, we wouldn't want every other person to just go around killing people. Kantian ethics is a very hard system to follow because it doesn't allow for any situation motivational factors. Our duties are duty no matter what the circumstances. So for example, a utilitarian would probably think that it would be a good thing to kill a tyrant like Hitler because he's causing so much misery to so many people, while if you were to follow the categorical imperative, you have to conclude that killing Hitler was wrong because you don't want murder to become absolute rule. Existentialists suggest that human life has no meaning other than the one we give it. This suggests that there are no ethical absolutes. Each individual must decide for themselves what is right. Each individual gives a meaning to his or her life by acting ethically in a world without any meaning. Existential ethics comes at quite a severe price. We must take full responsibility for our belief system and each and every action within it. We must take complete responsibility for acting ethically and with integrity, even if it results in quite a lot of pain and social condemnation. If the individual isn't willing to do this, then his or her life doesn't even have the limited meaning that moral choice provides. In many ways, existential ethics is even harsher than the categorical imperative. Kantians at least have a universal sense of right and wrong with the categorical imperative to cling to, while existentialists don't even have this because they have no absolute sense of right or wrong. And despite this, existentialists still have to follow their systems with as much consistency and integrity as any Kantian. I just gave you a small glimpse into the world of ethics. I talked about 4 different ethical theories: egoism, utilitarianism, Kantian ethics, and existentialism. This was some heavy stuff, especially the latter 2 topics. I personally find the categorical imperative of existentialism to be far too extreme. I don't believe nature designed us to follow such rigid systems. I hope the speech will make you a little bit more aware of ethical